For this demo, we're going to step through the core for order to cash transactions going to NetSuite. Those core four transactions are going to be a incoming order, an outgoing order confirmation, fulfillment information, and the invoice. Well, our accelerator does handle quite a few other transactions. What you'll find is the behavior and the interaction to NetSuite is very similar in that we're using the NetSuite SOAP API. So most of what you see in this demo for these transactions is pretty similar across the board. So where I'm at right now is we're looking at the Cleo cockpit dashboard. And specifically, what we're going to do is we're going to jump in to the purchase orders view. Now, prior to starting this demo, I actually sent an order in as if I were the partner submitting an order. And you can see that this order here has the name B's, and we're just going to focus on 3ZD for the number. So this is the order that I sent in, and we can see that it's received here in the Cleo network. And if I wanted to view this transaction, I could come in and I can actually see some more of the details about this transaction that was received. If I wanted to look at a little bit closer, I can select this link over here, and I'll see the original EDI transaction that I had sent in. And what I can do is I can compare that side by side to how we translated that. So how did we get it into NetSuite? So here on the left, we have that EDI version of the transaction I sent. And here on the right, we're seeing the SOAP API data structure that we're sending in to NetSuite. So we can see all that detail here. Now, we can look at this even closer. At the bottom of the screen, we can see that in this case, I sent to a partner mailbox in the Cleo network that EDI transaction. That was a successful connection. That moved the data to the transformation sequence, which actually validates the data, de-envelopes it, and reformats it via mapping to send to NetSuite. And we can actually see that detail here. If we dive in even a little bit more, we can actually, look at the log detail where we're actually communicating with NetSuite here and get even more of the detail about the request response activity. So this shows from a Cleo dashboard perspective that data moving into NetSuite. Now, if I bring my NetSuite console over to the screen, we can actually see here in my sales order screen that purchase order that was pushed from Cleo into NetSuite. So here's that B's 3ZD. Now, if I open this up, we can see already that it's pending approval. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open it, and I'm going to approve this order. And then what we'll do is we'll examine the process to pull the acknowledgement information down and send that to the partner. So again, here's my order, super simple, just single line item, quantity of 2, basic information in here right now. That's all we really need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this approved. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go pull this acknowledgement down to the Cleo dashboard, which is ultimately where it gets sent to the partner. From a Cleo perspective inside of NetSuite, one of the things that your users can do is within the order itself, you'll notice there's a custom tab here. And this is where I could come in as a NetSuite user, and without having to go to the Cleo dashboard, I can come down to this source status field. And if I see that this is pending, this means I have not yet sent this to my partner. So what will happen when we send this to our partner is this status here will change, and it'll inform us that now we have successfully sent the acknowledgement information to our partner. So we'll look at that next. So in the background, a Cleo job ran and connected to NetSuite, searched for any sales acknowledgments that needed to be sent. And when it finds those, it collects them. And in my case, in this demo, collects them, transforms them to EDI, and sends them to the partner. So back here in the dashboard, if I go to my order, I can now see that I have an acknowledgement showing that it was sent to my partner. So if I select that acknowledgement here in the lifecycle view, I can see in this flow below that we collected from NetSuite that acknowledgement data, we transformed it, and we sent it to our partner's EDI mailbox. Now, if I wanted to look at that acknowledgement, just like before, I can come in and I can view that data in more detail, compare it side by side with the translated document. And now we've sent that to our partner. So I can see that here from a NetSuite perspective. If I hop over to NetSuite, back in my sales orders screen, here's that 3ZD order. If I open that order and I come down to this custom tab again, now I can see from a NetSuite perspective that this order confirmation was in fact sent to our partner. So without having to go into the Cleo dashboard, I can see that that activity had happened. So now that we've sent this order off to our partner, we're going to go ahead and move into the next step, which is to do the fulfillment. So very simply going to fulfill this. I'm just going to go with the basic information here and save the fulfillment as it is. And then what I'm going to do is, as soon as this saves, again, show you the custom tab section for the fulfillment. So here in the item fulfillment custom tab, we can see that the status of this fulfillment is pending. Again, this means we have not yet sent this to our partner. So in the background, there's a Cleo job that's going to collect any fulfillment records that have not been sent to our partner and send them to our partner. So now back in the Cleo cockpit, we'll find our order. And here we can see the incoming order we started with, the outgoing acknowledgement, and now we can see that we collected the ship notice or the fulfillment detail and sent it to our partner. So again, the flow below shows the interaction with NetSuite, the transformation steps to take the payload from NetSuite, turn it into EDI, and then deliver that to the partner here. Now, if we go over to the NetSuite side of this, back in my sales order screen, we see that 3ZD order. If I were to view this order, down to my related records, select the item fulfillment. I can see the status is now shipped. But if I come in and I look at the custom tab, I now see that the source status for this is in a sent state, which means that we did in fact send this successfully to our partner. So now that we have sent the fulfillment information to our partner, we want to move to the final step in this sequence, which is to invoice or bill our partner, and then let's send that invoice out. So I'm going to go ahead and create the bill now. I'm going to just save. And now that I've got my invoice here, what I want to highlight again is in the custom tab. I can see my source status is pending, which means I have not yet sent this invoice to my partner. So that means that this invoice is available to collect from the Cleo network to transform and send to our partner. So I'm going to kick off that job in the background, and then we'll look at the results. So now that that scheduled process is completed, we're going to go back in the cockpit. We're going to look at that order. So again, we can see the incoming order. We passed from partner perspective, order acknowledgement that was sent out, the ship notice fulfillment information that was sent out, and now we can see the invoice. So we collected the invoice and we sent that to our partner. If we look at the flow here at the bottom of the screen, we can see the interaction. We can see the interaction from NetSuite, the transformation of that payload, and the delivery to the partner. So from a NetSuite perspective, what this looks like is if I come back into my transactions for sales orders, find that sales order, and we go look for related records, specifically that invoice. Now, if I go to the custom tab, again, here I can see the source status shows as sent. So again, from a NetSuite perspective, I can see that we sent this data successfully to our partner, or this invoice was sent successfully to our partner. And we could always go into the Cleo cockpit to validate that, but it's not a necessary step. So main takeaway from this demo is, I want you to see that, all those interactions with the partner are visible here in this custom tab for each of the transaction types that you'll be handling using the Cleo components, the accelerator components. So that completes this order to cash demo.